Hello, everyone. I'm Emily Ringer with Polar Bears International, and happy Polar Bear Week. We celebrate Polar Bear Week every year in the first full week of November because fall is fading into winter and temperatures are dropping. And the sea ice that polar bears rely on in order to hunt and to catch seals is starting to refreeze and expand across the Arctic Ocean. Now, 2020 has without a doubt been a uniquely challenging year. And so we figured that necessitates a unique sort of Polar Bear Week celebration. So for the next 40-ish minutes, our goal is to offer you a window of respite from the stressors that are likely pinging at you right now. Because in this work, we often, even in the darkest of times, look to the bears to replenish our inspiration and to uh, soothe our nerves and remind us that hope is, without a doubt, a verb, and it is one of our greatest tools in our toolbox. So, if you've been following along on our social channels this week, you likely recognize some of the imagery that is gracing your screen right now. And as intimidating and as grand as polar bears can be, they also can be sweet looking, and fairly goofy. So we look to the bears in times like this to teach us a few things about taking care of ourselves during really intense times. So let's look at a few of the bears' top lessons. Lesson number one is the importance of stretching and trying to work out some of the stress that is inevitably building up in all of our bodies right now and probably over the course of the last year. Now, this looks a little bit different for everybody that's watching, likely, but I would wager that most people watching could use giving their neck and their shoulders and probably their low back a little bit of stretch and love. So take a page out of the polar bears book and stretch it out. Lesson number two from the bears is the importance of sleep and good rest and napping. This is particularly important during tumultuous times and emotionally demanding times. So treat yourself and take a nap. Lesson number three from the bears, and sort of the flip side of the napping, is play, making time for play, and really just being in any sort of unstructured way. So dance around your apartment, tickle your quarantine buddy, find something to laugh at and let yourself laugh. These are serious times, and we would never deny that. But it's really important that we always don't take ourselves so seriously and we allow our spirits to lift even for just a moment at a time. Lesson number three from the bears is to kick back and relax. And in areas of the Arctic where polar bears need to come ashore when the sea ice melts in the summer, polar bears are particularly good at this one because it's a great way to conserve energy. So do as this bear that you're seeing right now does, and kick back, slow down, and let yourself do nothing. And then we have one final lesson from our polar bear friends. Lesson number five is to support each other. Now, these bears that you're seeing on our screen are actually sparring or play fighting. But for the purpose of this moment, we're going to call this a hug. And this lesson of caring for each other is really important right now because our lives are not unfolding in an individual vacuum. We all depend on one another and we all impact one another. And if we can care for one another and our communities, life across this planet can thrive. Now, this brings us to the main event of this hour. and one of our favorite artists who is caring for the world through his craft. He's an alumni of RBC's Top 25 Canadian Immigrants, and he is a poet and a public speaker. He has delivered TED Talks and performed at businesses, schools, events, colleges across North America, including at the Polar Bears International fundraising event in Toronto earlier this year in February, where he most certainly captured all of our hearts and our imaginations. So take a page out of the Polar Bears book, sit back, relax, and allow yourself to let the talent and artistry of poet Wali Shah to transport you to the beauty of the Arctic.
Hey everyone, my name is Wally, and I'm so excited to be a part of this event today with PBI. And I'm super excited to share a poem that I've written particularly for this event. I just wish I could have a little polar bear costume that I could be wearing while I share it, but this will have to do for now. This poem is called More Than We Can Bear. Imagine every Christmas, our kids never see the snow. Imagine having to move, but you don't know where to go. Imagine your home being destroyed, losing everything you know. And when you lose your land, where would your children grow? If we take a stand today, we light the way and set the tone for generations to come so they don't stand alone. We stand for bears in our Arctic who are losing all they've known, who lose their little cubs before they're fully grown. They are no different than our pets, the cats or dogs we raise. They also have a family and show love in different ways. Let's preserve their lives and the beauty of their home, the depths of their seas. I can't do justice with this poem. And though things are never perfect, we must learn from all the flaws. If we research and we ponder, if we take the time to pause. This is for the scientists who do the work and push the cause. To all those who make a difference, a virtual round of applause. The risk is high, and it's time to show our care. Seeing them in danger is more than we can bear. Right now, our world is spinning like a roller chair, so it's up to us to save the planet and the polar bears. They melt our hearts, but their homes melt away. But with PBI, I know we'll find a way. Their future can change with our work today, so it's time that we act on all the things we say. Time to check ourselves and embody ethics that are fair, from managing the price of carbon in our air to sourcing materials by treating animals with care, because we are all stewards on this planet that we share. So today we take a stand for life on planet Earth, regardless of species or the country of our birth. The climate has changed with our habits, but there's hope for us still to make a better difference. All it takes is our will. So it's time to take a stand and time to remember why. For a better world for the bears and for you and I. Thank you for listening, everyone.
Thank you so much, Wally. That was incredibly moving. And now we invite all of you that are tuning in to continue to turn to nature for a few more minutes of stress relief by immersing yourself in the world of these bears, including, you'll see a mother and her 3 cubs, which is a family that we've been watching hanging around on the edge of Hudson Bay for the last few days, waiting for the sea ice to form. So here's a little window into the world of their life together and to other polar bears across the Arctic. All right. Thank you all for tuning in, and a huge, huge heartfelt thank you to Wali for sharing your inspiration and poetry and talent with all of us in this community. If anyone watching would like to follow Wali or hear more from him, you can find him on social. His handle is Life as Wali across Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you can also visit his website, which is linked to in the body of this post and on our website. And we also want to give a special thank you to explore.org for partnering with us on the Polar Bear Cam, which brought you a lot of the footage that you were just watching. And we would encourage you any day, but maybe especially today, to get lost in some of their other wildlife and nature cameras. It is a beautiful showcase of what this world has to offer all of us. And with that, we will sign off. We hope this event created a little bit of space for you today, gave a little bit of relief, and that you carry this Arctic inspiration with you into whatever it is that you will be doing next. So, from all of us at Polar Bears International, take care, be well, and please stay in touch.